for freedom, oh, and Montego, River, Blue and Gouda. Asiago, Wensleydale, and Rockland, Blanchon, Halloumi, Fete, Gorgonzola, cheese, oh, Monterey Jack, Fiddle-la-da, Pecorino, Swiss Gruyere, I love a vegetan de Kiro cheese.
For the past few decades, I've been coming to the United States to visit cheese stores and dairy suppliers and to catch up on industry trends. And on this occasion, I've brought my daughter Ellie to New York City to visit some of my favourite stores and also to attend a very special event that focuses on America's leading cheesemongers, the hard-working cheese shop staff that prepare and sell cheese every day. The event we're here to attend is called the Cheesemonger Invitational Awards, and it represents a unique and very future-focused initiative that recognises the skills of young cheesemongers and seeks to foster their role in the industry. The art of the modern cheesemonger dates back to when cheese was first created and sold, and they're often the first contact point for educating customers and represent a vital part in the retail chain of the dairy industry.
And believe it or not, this warehouse behind me in Long Island City, New York, is the home of the Cheesemonger Invitational. Right now, there are 47 contestants inside waiting to win the prize of the world champion cheesemonger.
The creator of the Cheesemonger Invitational is Adam Muscovitz, a self-confessed cheese addict and entrepreneur with a long family history in the cheese import business.
I started this business because I was born into the business. I am a third-generation cheese industry person. My grandfather was one of the first men to import cheese in the United States. He was a pioneer of many different products from Europe. It wasn't just cheese, jams, jellies, soups. He was just one of the first guys that was literally getting product from Europe to America. That company was called Walker Butter and Egg. My father left that business and started Larkin in 1978. So my father was really good at finding producers that wanted to export, and he taught them how to be their own importer and set up their USA subsidiary. So my father started Emmy. Emmy USA was started by my father. My father started Champignon. Cambozola was introduced by my father. I grew up at Larkin basically because I was born in '74. I came to work at Larkin full-time approximately 7 years ago. Basically took it over from my father. And since then, in 2008, I launched Euro Larkin with my father. In 2009, I launched the Cheesemonger Invitational. In 2010, I relaunched Columbia Cheese, which is a cheese importing company focused on single village dairies. And that's my career. I'm cheese for life. Welcome to the 5th annual Cheesemonger Invitational.
Adam's offsider in the planning and organisation of the Cheesemonger Invitational is Liz Thorpe, a well-respected author and expert in the New York cheese scene.
Adam started Cheesemonger Invitational 5 years ago. I came on last year, and I immediately wanted to introduce more of an educational component. That's been a big theme in my career. I'm a writer, I'm a researcher, I'm a nerd. So we started doing training sessions last year, and so I've really taken the event and put my own spin on it, and now we've grown it to be a 2-day event. So we're doing one full day that's all about makers and mongers spending time together, and then the second day is the competition. So he's the showman, I'm the cheese geek.
The goal for the next 2 days is that we all walk away feeling like winners. This is your moment to shine. So let the light rain.
Besides being in Essex, I'm a partner at Zingerman.
Once the cheesemonger contestants have been welcomed and briefed, it's time for them to meet the cheesemakers in a series of informal round-table briefings.
If you took a picture of the year, we use about half the milk that's produced on the farm. From July to the end of September, every drop we can get our hands on.
Each table contains an industry expert who explains their own cheese history and answers questions on their role and expertise.
We know when you shipped it to the distributor, it just showed up at your store.
There's nowhere where these people can come together in a place that has no agenda except to educate them and make them better mongers. So like I get the most satisfaction out of brokering and the introduction between the makers and the mongers. And for our cheesemakers, they can't get on a plane and fly to 50 stores. So they walk into one room and everyone's here. So we've got Matteo Keeler from Jasper Hill Farm, sort of an American cheese luminary. We have several makers coming with Neal's Yard Dairy. We've got Giorgio Crivero, who's the preeminent selector and ager of Parmigiano Reggiano. We've got folks coming from the Bavarian and Austrian Alps. So again, these are people who don't often get to actually meet the mongers who sell their cheese and be able to tell their story directly to those ambassadors of their cheese. It's pretty spectacular.
Included in this group are good friends of mine from the US, Europe and the UK, and I asked a few of them why this event is so important.
There's a virtuous cycle that's happening here where, there are cheesemakers that are producing amazing products and young people that are rising up to understand and tell the stories and to basically communicate with the buying public. And we feed on each other. And this particular event, Cheesemonger Invitational, is kind of the beating heart of something really special in America.
We're in a warehouse in Long Island City, just across the East River. And this is what's great about it and what's appropriate about it is this is where all the cheese comes in. Most of the specialist cheese in America comes through this building, and here they are. And it's real, it's gritty, it's not dressed up, but it's relevant. And so I think for these guys, it's in a way they're making a pilgrimage, and it's great that it should be here.
You could never organize this anywhere else in the world. I'm so jealous about it because, in Holland we're a cheese country, but it's so common, it's so plain, and here it's like an art. They feel it's like an art, so they want to know all about it. So everyone attends and they're listening, they're really listening. When you're telling something, they have proper questions. It's so different from anywhere else.
It's a very good spirit for the experience, for the new cheesemonger. And what is funny is to comparing this event to the French event, who are more serious.
Traditional.
Yes.
Yeah.
The thing that really strikes me is the youth and commitment that you'll find here. I mean, young people are turning to cheese as a profession. I think it's something that, isn't happening in Europe. Young people are flocking to cheesemongering as a profession. It's pretty inspiring.
The focus on education continues, and in the afternoon the cheesemongers attend a special panel on technical and scientific aspects of cheesemaking.
So a group of makers talking about a theme. We're doing one on molds and yeasts. This is really compelling stuff in the cheese world. And one about production models. And then we do some workshops. So those are a little bit more hands-on, more interactive. We'll do one on cutting, breaking down big wheels of cheese. We'll do one on cheese care. What mold is good, what mold is bad, how do you know? What do you do about it? And then the third one will be about pairing. So cheese, beer, and some sort of condiment.
Today we've had workshops, we've had panel discussions, we've had tastings, we've had people break open wheels. The vibe in the room is electric. I won't be satisfied unless I see cheese on the walls, but that's just my personal preference. I think they get that it's not really about winning. It's really about showcasing cheese. I think what came out of these sessions today are a greater appreciation for the craft.
So today, it's a lot of rah-rah, a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of learning, but tomorrow, they're gonna have to work their butts off.
No wimps allowed. It's going to be a cheese battle extravaganza. These guys are going to be in a battle royale of cheese. I can't wait to see cheese on the walls. I want to see blood. I want to see grit. It's going to be crazy.
12:15 to 1:30. And then your workstation is also labeled with your name.
Day 2 begins with a group briefing, and then the cheesemongers prepare for the first test, a multiple choice exam designed to gauge their general knowledge of cheese.
Let me hear you go, move! Timekeeper, you got clock? All right, let's get ready to press the button, turn it over, let's go! Good luck, everyone. Yeah. So some of the mongers look cool as can be. Some of the mongers look nervous as hell. They got 30 minutes. We've got all these really good questions, and we're going to see how much their actual book knowledge is about cheese.
Some questions about pasteurization, temperatures, specific questions about creameries and where they get their ingredients or how they make them. There were a couple on there that I wasn't quite sure the answer.
I noticed that a lot of the questions on the tests were on the seminars we had yesterday. So if you didn't pay attention, you're pretty much screwed.
I'll tell you what, I actually took the ACS CCP test a few years ago, and this is my 3rd time taking the test. Adam's tests are always hard. It's good, it's challenging.
The next round, I think, is going to really kind of get their blood flowing a lot, because that's the blind taste test, and that's going to be a really stressful time for them.
So we're doing the blind tasting now. So the mongers each have 6 cheeses representing different milks, different styles. Instead of trying to guess the type of cheese, we've asked them to pick a cheese that it's most similar to. That's what customers ask. So we want to make those associations. Also this year, they need to identify the flavor or aroma adjective that does not describe the cheese. I expect to see some near perfect scores on this challenge.
So we have 12 repeat mongers, meaning they've competed before, at least once or twice. I definitely think if you've competed before, you have an edge. My gut, it's going to be a repeat player that actually wins. It just seems to be the way, because you just know what's going to happen.
I know it was the event that everybody did the worst on last year when I competed for the first time. I know I definitely did horribly. And there's only so much you can do to practice for it. And it's constantly tasting, but it feels like it's just a shot in the dark most of the time.
It's such a broad spectrum of stuff. I never feel like I've learned everything there's to learn. Every other job I've ever had, I've worked in a restaurant where I work with the chef, I learn all the things I think he can teach me, and then I move on. Every day I come into work and learn so much more stuff. Like it's the tip of the iceberg. And every time I think I'm getting a grasp on something, it's all shaken apart. So that alone is why I like it.
I want to represent my cheese shop. I want to represent Mongers as a whole. I just want to do well, yeah.
I'll tell you what, if I don't go back to the shop with a top 10 finish, they're going to kill me.
There are 220 points for the prelims, and all of the challenges are pretty equal to one another. We weight sales a little bit higher because it requires you to take all the skills of being a monger and put them together in one challenge.
Even though we do it every day at work, it's like I said, when I'm in a test mode, it's like kind of nerve-wracking. And I want those extra points.
I'm going to this party, and I don't want to bring them a lot of cheese because I don't think they really like cheese. I want to bring them one cheese that's going to like blow their mind. I want to be like a cheese superstar. They're going to be like, what the hell?
All right.
What do you got?
I think it went pretty well. I had Adam, and I went first, so that was a little interesting, but it went really well. You know, he challenged me with, well, I'm not sure I like this, and I don't like this about that, so that helped guide me, you know, to hit the right thing for his palate, for his situation.
The sales challenge. That's my favorite part. I mean, because that's what we do. That's what it's all about. And so when you get to take all the little pieces that we're being judged on, you're putting them all together in the sales, because that is what a cheesemonger does. Is they have cheese and they present it to people and pick out the very best thing that they can.
It's tougher selling to somebody who knows about cheese, as opposed to a lot of just people coming in from Central Park just want something to eat next to the lake. So, you know, it's usually easier to sell to people like that.
Pretty amazing event. It's exciting to watch. I love the sales over there. I think it's fun to see their personalities come out and have to sell the cheese. It's so amazing to see 50 mongers so passionate about what they do and getting into it. It feels authentic. I feel like these mongers here, you know, are craving to know more and add to my knowledge.
Whilst the cheesemongers are selling cheese to the judges, there's also a test to see who can cut a perfectly weighed wedge, a skill that's very important when cutting cheese to meet a customer's budget.
I mean, last year I've been told to sell more cheese, but to get a perfect cut is pretty badass.
Today's the first day of the rest of your life.
Exactly.
Looking good, liking that portion control. You're looking a little bit behind the 8 ball.
I've already got a rack on.
You got a rack on? There you go, girl. Look at you. I like that technique. That's a cool contraption. Perfect bite round is like where we're trying to take the monger to the next level, right? Mongers cut and sell cheese, but I think mongers also really need to know how to use cheese in some sort of cooking/preparation fashion. So the perfect bite, they have to create 100 perfect bites using a pre-assigned cheese. Any other food element they want to bring, they can, to create a perfect orgasmic bite of cheese.
To look at some of the preparation going on, it's clear that a lot of careful thought has gone into planning these bites. This is certainly one of the most imaginative challenges for the cheesemongers. But what exactly are the judges looking for?
I'm looking for, first and foremost, I want it to be cheese forward, but cheese balanced. I don't want the cheese to get lost. I want portion control. I want it to be a bite. I'm looking for pretty. I like it to be pretty. You know, you eat with your eyes first. But most importantly, I'm looking for yumminess.
So taste.
Yeah, it's got to taste dope. If it tastes dope, it rules over everything else.
And how long have they got to do this for?
They got an hour. 1 hour to do 100 perfect bites of cheese.
I'm going to be making a red Leicester fry.
Right.
Some applewood ketchup and some maple cured bacon. Maple cured bacon.
Got it. Okay.
I made a shortbread cookie with a chocolate ganache with a sprinkle of espresso, the Cunic, and then I have an Italian lemon marmalade with the finishing salt.
Sounds really lovely. Hey, good luck with that one.
Thank you.
I'm putting together the Rogue s'mores with the Rogue blue cheese. I got some chocolate, some house-made crisps here, like graham crackers. Got some citrus peel in here and some sugar. I'm gonna fire those up to get them nice and sort of smoky.
Yeah.
That's the Rogue s'mores, man. Summer.
That's it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, I can't wait to try that one.
Oh, yeah.
I have the Habit, which to me has like a really earthy, grassy, potato-like
Beautiful
flavor.
cheese, yeah.
Sour cream, tomato jam, little herbs.
Going
We'll
for
see.
it.
Yeah.
Okay. Look forward to trying that.
Thank you.
After the judges have tasted 15 bites each, it's time to retire to Adam's office and decide who will compete in the finals.
It's the top 10 scores, but number 10 and number 11 have the same score. So we actually have a top 11, which
Very
has never
nice.
happened before.
Wow. Very exciting.
Do you put them both in, or have
Yeah,
a last
they both.
minute?
No, they're both in. They're both in.
They're key.
All right. So in first place we have James Gentry.
Yeah. Nice.
St. James.
St.
Cheese
James,
Company.
that's two. Woo, woo.
New
Yeah.
Orleans. So last year St. James won this thing.
And he's in front by a lot. It's
And
like
he's in-
169
he's in
over
front
to
by
the next
8
spot,
points.
which is 157.
No, 12 points,
12
excuse
points. Thank God for Excel.
So our second place winner last year is in second place, Najib.
Wow.
Yeah, I liked his pepperdew as well.
Yeah, it was really good.
I was torn on that one too. Yeah.
Sarah Aducci from Feast is in third place.
Nice.
She's actually tied with Najib. They're tied for second place.
Go Virginia.
Emily Acosta.
Yeah, easily.
Awesome.
Lilith Spencer from Brooklyn Larder.
Awesome.
Luke Johnson, who made our top 10 last year from Cheese Pops.
Awesome.
Nathan Hegum
Brooklyn.
from Lucy's Way.
Nice, New York.
Caitlin O'Neill from Sickles Market.
Nice.
Noah Pardo from Saxelby. And then coming in with the tie is Beth Lewand from Eastern District and Jessica Galen from Lucy's Way. Lucy's Way is 2 in the top 10. Missing the top 10 by 1 point is Nicole from Murray's Cheese. I thought she was going to totally make it. She was killing it coming in.
Yeah.
To announce the top 11 mongers, Adam dons a special cow costume and transforms himself into Mr. Moo.
Cheesemongers don't get enough love.
I wear a cow costume, and I have a hit single called Moo With Me, Moo With Me. And yeah, he's basically the mascot of CMI. I basically want to get people more connected back to the land. I feel like the Industrial Revolution disconnected man from the land, and then I feel the information age has disconnected man from man. And that cheese is the perfect metaphor for getting humans connected back to the land, because it literally is the fat of the land.
Mongers are ready? Okay, here we go. Are you ready? I'm ready. Sarah Ducci.
With our 11 winning cheesemongers announced, the final rounds commence, with each contestant describing their favourite cheese and explaining why they chose it.
Caitlin, come on up here. Tell us about your favorite cheese.
What's up? My name is Caitlin O'Neill. I'm from Sickles Market in Little Silver, New Jersey. And as you can see, my favorite cheese is Harbison.
You can unlock the secrets of the universe with this cheese. It's a sheepy cup of love. It's everything you've ever wanted. Bitter, sour, creamy, harmonious, perfect.
Don't fear the smear, ladies and gentlemen. I'm all about education and I'm all about dispelling myths. And one of those myths is that Limburger is a biological weapon. It is not.
It's my favorite cheese because I'm from the South. And I also love that it comes from all grass-fed cows and is only made during the months where they're feeding on grass.
You're just gonna have to taste this wheel and find out what it has in store for you.
Whoa!
But inside is light and citrusy bright. It's small and round. Cheetorino.
With those brilliant introductions finished, it's on to the all-important cutting round, where the cheesemongers must cut portions within 2 grams of a target weight, and then carefully and stylishly wrap them up.
I know Jack Cheese. Nigga, please. That's right, yo. I'm gonna bring freeze.
With the cutting and wrapping completed, the final challenge of pairing a cheese with a locally brewed beer is announced.
You guys should have been paying attention all day and know where your favorite cheeses are from our amazing hosts. You guys ready? On your mark, get set, go!
Using a selected cheese, the contestants must explain their pairing selection to the audience and judges.
Hello. The beer that I chose is Crisp from 6 Point. I've been drinking it for the past 2 days. It is awesome. I love Brooklyn and I love this crisp. The cheese that I picked to go with it is from Vermont Creamery. It's called Cremant. And it's rich and creamy, and it's a gorgeous little cow's milk and goat's milk blend.
My pairing is called the Country Mouse and the City Mouse because we have a Brooklyn beer and a country cheese Kunik, one of my favorites, one of the favorites of almost every customer who walks into my store.
And this cheese, you can't have any admissions when you crack it open because it's so messy. Check this out.
Oh, that is dirty. It's nasty.
Finally, it's time for the judges to sample the pairings back in Adam's office and make some final decisions regarding this year's winner.
So this is the deciding moment. The judges are tasting the cheese with the 2 different beers that were put up, and the best combination is going to decide who's the winner.
A clear winner?
Oh my God, we have the first woman winner of
CMI!
Oh my God, yes!
There must be some mistake.
That's
awesome. Yes!
We've been waiting for this for 5 years.
In 3rd place, James Gentry of New Orleans.
If you love cheese, you will go far in cheese. Who loves cheese?
In second place, from the South, Floral Tisanonaji.
I'm so charged up because I went and opened my own shop after last year's CMI, and it's been awesome. It's been hard. It's been everything. But coming up here and talking to everybody who's working at Cheese, doing it, and it's just given me so much to keep going. So thank you. Thank you.
I do have to tell you that for the first time in Cheesemonger history, a woman has won Cheesemonger Invitational. Emily Acosta, Italy.
This is a dream come true. I can't even. I've never been on a cheese journey, and I'm so excited. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. I can't just thank you. This is such an honor.
The Cheesemaker Invitational is a uniquely American event, and its success is a credit to the inspiration and passion of Adam Muskowitz, Liz Thorpe, and their hard-working team. Well-trained and passionate cheesemongers are crucial for the future of artisan and farmhouse cheese. And the awards are a game changer.
You were like this close.
I know.
You just gotta look, it's so tricky cutting cheese.
It is, and I was great in the preliminaries. I've got them all right on, and maybe I got overconfident, I don't know, but I just couldn't do it. You know, it's like when a pitcher in baseball loses it, and they just throw wild pitch after wild pitch. I just threw like 7 straight wild pitches, man. I didn't score a single point, so it's all right.
Even to make the finals in this field was incredible. I mean, we have some awesome mongers that show up every year, and it's just been fantastic. I'm really, really thrilled. Coming in second twice has felt like a tremendous accomplishment. So we'll see how I feel next year.
So close.
Yeah, so close. That's the only thing that's making me not say no altogether.
You've got to do it again.
We'll see.
Please do.
I'll try.
So Emily, how does it feel?
Unbelievable. I never expected to win. I never expected to win.
The judges were unanimous. It wasn't just a maybe.
Yeah.
You were up there. You know that song you did?
Yes.
That was so special.
I write cheese songs all the time. Yes. When I'm behind the counter and we always get huge orders of meat slicing. I always just spend that time writing songs about cheese and salumi. So it came in handy. It's a good skill to know.
Well, it was fantastic. And what I loved about when you won, all your competitors, they were going, Emily. Wasn't that great?
It was great. We've all been very supportive of each other. Even we were creating our final perfect bites. Some people finished ahead of other people, and everyone was helping each other just to get it done, to finish up on time. We're competitors, but we're, like I said, part of the same community.
Well done.
Thank you.
Go out there and enjoy it and share it with your friends.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay.